Hey, this is Matt. I play guitar for Manic, and today I'm going to be recording my parts for Push Off the Ground. Kind of like in Thousand Angels, this song also had this one part that we had just a little bit of time left. We were borrowing a guitar amp and we were about to have to take it back, and so we hadn't done anything on the second verse. Hildy and I were sitting and trying to figure out what to do, and I was like, all right, just hit record, I'll just try something. And so ended up recording this part just kind of on the fly, and it's funny because that's actually has become one of our favorite parts. It's got this extra melody, and like I said, the song's very heavy, so that second verse, it was really cool to kind of go into this very melodic part. You can even hear, there's a part when we start to do a build-up, and we had already recorded most of it, and at the last minute, Hildy came up with this piano part that goes over it. And I remember the first time he showed it to us, we were all freaking out, because up until that point, it was basically just us palm muting power chords, and then all of a sudden, Hildy adds this moving piano part that gives it emotion and gives it a better build.
I heard it from upstairs. I loved it.
One of my favorite memories from recording this album was actually, I would come over to the house at like 4 or 4:30 in the morning before I went to work. We'd be recording and all of a sudden we'd get interrupted by the neighbor's rooster. So then we'd just have to stop for a little bit because the rooster would be crowing and we don't want to have that in the album. We'll give you $20 if you can be the first one to hear a rooster crow in the album. Hildy was actually the one that came up with the idea of doing Morse code. You can hear it at the beginning and you can hear it at the end. But what's funny is we make fun of him because he can't say Morse code. He says Morris code.
No, we should have added Morse code like on Push Off the Ground. Like that Morse code part. I really like how that Morse code came out. Morse code came out. Morse code came out.
You know, the recording process can be pretty stressful. I mean, we'd spend 12 hours at one time, 15 hours. You know, we wouldn't sleep. We'd stay up all night. So as we'd get stressed, we all had our own different ways of trying to kind of detach or de-stress.
Oh, yes!
What are you doing in here, man? What time is it?
So on the last album, we used just my Mesa Boogie as the guitar amp. We just picked one tone and used it for the whole album. So for this album, we wanted to expand, our sound and try using a different amp or even a few different amps for this album to give it some variety. So we went to SIR, a local equipment rental place, and tried out a bunch of amps. In the end, we ended up going with the Bogner because while it had the clarity we were looking for, it also had that power and that crunch to it. But the majority of the tone that you hear on the album is actually a Marshall Plexi that we borrowed from a friend.
I really like how that Morse code came out.